Hi guys, Carolina here. So this week I decided to make a video instead of the usual newsletter because I wanted to make some rice cakes. The recipe for the rice cakes comes from the Feed Zone cookbook, which I have, and Pedro loves them, and I've made them many times. But I also found out that the recipe per se doesn't give you all the details, so it took me a little bit of trial and error to get the perfect rice cakes, and this is what I want to show you today, how to get the perfect rice cakes in your first attempt. So the first thing I want to explain is we're going to divide this video in 4. So the first video is going to be about cooking the rice. The second, I'm going to show you how to make a sweet version. The other one, a savory version. And then I'm going to have the last one showing how to the proper technique to wrap the rice cakes. So let's start with the rice. The rice is important in this recipe. So what happens with rice is different varieties of rice have different types of starches. So there's 2 types of starches. One is called amylose and the other is called amylopectin. Amylose does not gelatinize. So it means it doesn't swell as much as amylopectin, which does gelatinize. So the rice varieties that have more amylose will cook very fluffy and separated the grains. The rice varieties that have more of the amylopectin will cook nice and creamy and more sticky. In this case, we do want some stickiness. So we're going to go for the short grain rices or the medium grain rices, which are the varieties that have more of that amylopectin. So the rice that's more recommended for the rice cakes is the Calrose rice. This is the most popular brand, but you actually can also find just like supermarket brands, or if you cannot find Calrose rice, you can use sushi rice, arborio rice, or if you're in Europe, like bomba rice, which is a Spanish variety. So look for the short grain or medium grain rice. So we want the starch in the rice, but we don't want all the starch in the rice. So the first step is actually wash the rice. So you have your rice and you want to use like a sieve and you wash it pretty well in the water to get rid of the extra starch. So I'm not going to show you that, but I have something I want to show you. So this is the first water that I got from washing my rice or rinsing my rice. So you can see it's very opaque, has a lot of starch in it. And this is the last one. So it's pretty much almost clear. So we got rid of the extra starch that we don't need for this recipe. So it's really important to rinse the rice before you start. So you measure 2 cups of rice, you rinse it pretty well, and then you put it in your pot. So I have my rice here, as you can see. Now I'm going to add the water. So it's 2 cups of rice for 3 cups of water. And I always add my water cold. And then I bring it to a simmer. And once it's simmering, I lower my heat to the minimum, cover 20 minutes, and don't touch it. So the reason I add my water cold is because I think it gives it a little extra minutes for the rice to start to absorb that moisture from the water. So it kind of cooks a little bit better. And then once you cover, don't uncover, don't check on it. I know it's hard for me. I always want to make sure everything's going well inside the pot, but don't. Just really trust the process because that's important. So we're going to go to the stove and we're going to give you some exclusive footage of me in the stove so you can get a visual of what I'm saying while it is regarding cooking the rice. So let's go.